Oh, yeah. Can you dig it? Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Friday night. It's a chill stream night. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. What's going on out there in the world? It's good to see everybody. Nice to be here as well. Oh, it's a rainy day in Georgia, but other than that, rainy night in Georgia. Other than that, it's fantastic. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world. And I'm feeling Smurfy. How about you? Bill Bennett's first in chat. He says, hello, Untethered Live family. It's Friday. Yeah, I know, right? It's exciting. What it is, where's the bellhop? In baggage claim, where bellhops go. Amanda says, Bill, you get the gold star for being first in chat. Here's your gold star. And hi. And hi, what it is. And what it is says, it's Friday. The eagle has shit all over me, meaning payday. I'm not sure that's how that expression is used, but I hear you, buddy. Are you saying they took a lot out of your paycheck? I think that's what you're saying. Amanda says, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. Happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight? Smurfy. I'm feeling Smurfy. I'm wound tight and kicking ass with my P90 t-shirt on, rocking the P90. You know what that is? If you don't know what that is, you kind of got to be in the club. I'll give you a hint. It's in the name. Amanda says, woo, what it is. Payday, payday. I didn't get paid much today. Everybody gets paid but me, and I work all the time. Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. But I do have this nice, hot, lovely cup of coffee. It is a regular cup of joe, and that's the way I like it. Thank you to those who provide the coffee for the show. Don't you want to have a cup of coffee with me and talk about current events and things that are going on and what P90 means? And if you do, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup of coffee, and let's get this conversation rolling. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It is fantastic. However, there are many new options, including stainless steel tumblers of varying sizes. They keep your coffee hot for hours. They're safe. They have a snap top lid, and they are great for coffee and other things. They hold liberal tears quite nicely. They look good on a coffee table, and if you chunk them at somebody, they'll leave a mark. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love. You want to throw a little clang-a-lang in my pocket if you want to. VJ. You can do that right there. Or hit that Cash App, which is getting kind of lonely. It's $ Jake Johnson Band if you're a Cash App user, and I do appreciate that very much. One more thing. If you'd like to hang out with us, outside of the YouTuberverse, outside of the oppressive thumb of old Google, or if you just want to hang out with everybody except me, you can do that over at facebook.com/UntetheredLive family. The link is in the chat. Go check it out. I think you'll like it, and I appreciate your patronage. Now, back to the show. That's a mouthful. What it is says, hello, Amanda and Jake and John Boy and Sue Ellen and Joe and Carol Sue and Grandpa. Hey, sis. Now, see, here's a teachable moment. Grandpa is one word, and it is spelled Granpa. It is short for grandfather, which has a D and an F, not a PH, although it would work either way. The reason it sounds like grandpa is because we're Southern. We have marbles in our mouth, but it's still the same word. Teachable moment. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. My God, it's hot in here. I just noticed that. I'm in a sauna, and now the door is blocking the way so the dog doesn't come in here and chew on my cords, and there is no airflow coming into this room. Wow. Amanda says, LOL, don't forget Tribble. Yeah, don't forget to say hello to Tribble. She's in here listening, watching me on the computer. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You could just turn the AC on, maybe. That'll work. What it is says, let the fellowship begin. As we do. Nice to see you. What it is. How you doing? Oh, that's a nice hot cup of coffee. Look at that J badge on Amanda's name. She's been here for 12 whole months. That's 1 year of being a member of this show. And she's got the badge to prove it. Don't you want a J tag? You can't get a badge. That's an exclusive club. You have to be here for a year. But if you sign up today, you get your very own unique identifier, the J tag at the end of your name, and your name turns blue, and it's fantastic. I think it turns green, actually, but whatever. It turns blue if I give you a wrench. You have to have a wrench, too. But that's just for special people. Special in the head. Amanda says, we chilling tonight, what it is? That's right. We chilling. Oh, yeah, can you dig it? Yes, I can. Fix your lower third. Is it doing that thing again? It is, isn't it? Sorry about that. I am a procrastinator. Fixed. You'd think I'd have this down by now, all the checklist of things I have to go through, but nope. Still get lost. Wednesday said it was a Friday show, and I hadn't fixed that yet either, so. Amanda says, I know what it is. I know. You know? What do you know? Amanda says, I live with you. I got to hang out with you, LOL. What are we talking about now? Did I miss one? I must have missed one because I don't know what you're talking about. Nope, I didn't miss one. It goes from we chilling tonight or to I live with you. I know what you're like. Wow. That was harsh. And I wrote poetry for you today and everything too. How many guys are writing their girlfriend's poetry in 2025? Just me. What it is says, I got my what it is, TRS Republic. That's how my federal tax return. That's the name on my direct deposit. That's the name on my direct deposit was under. So what is TRS Republic? I don't know. TRS Republic sounds like a business name of some kind. TRS. I know what a TRS plug is. It's a two-way plug. It's a 1/4-inch jack that says it's stereo. It's got the tip and the ring and the sleeve. That's a TRS plug, but I don't know what that means. For Yourself says, hello. Hello, For Yourself. What it is says, P90 is a handgun. It might be, yeah, but in this case, it's not. Oh, Amanda and April both. Amanda says, a whole year with all y'all. Great people. I love being here and being part of all the craziness. Much love, says Amanda. And April says, I love my J-Tag, and I love you, Jake, and Amanda, and all of my family here in chat. Hugs and love. Well, hello, April, and thank you very much. You got yourself a J badge also. Look at that. Also 12 months. Congratulations, ladies. My hat's off to you. It looks great by your name, too, by the way. It makes you look all official. You are official. You are the boss. You are the law in here. I'll start calling y'all Judge Dreads. I'm the law. I'm the law. The only thing above the law is my mustache, which needs to be in dire need of being combed. Yes, what it is, P90 might be a handgun, but it is also a type of pickup. See it here on my shirt? That's a pickup for a guitar. That's what it is. And it's wound tight and kicking ass. Oh. April says, hi, fam. Good to see you all. Much love. Much love back at you, sweetie. How are you? And Amanda says, something. Hang on. Chat's going crazy. Amanda says, I know what the P90 is. Gotcha. I got you. Yes, the P90. P90s are a very special kind of guitar pickup. They're in between a single coil and a humbucker. It's kind of a in the middle kind of thing. It's got a unique sound, and only guitar players know what that is because to everybody else it just sounds like a guitar. They don't care. But us guitar players, we take that stuff very seriously. I mean, it's very serious. Anyway, Amanda says, hi, April, and hi yourself. Hi for yourself. And the hangout one was about what you said for Facebook. Oh, hanging. Oh, you don't get to hang out with me on Facebook because you live with me. I got it. It makes sense now. Well, I was talking to everyone else. I wasn't talking to you. I'm never talking to you. You work here. My vocalage is directed towards the listeners, the patronage. I talk to you over that way. I talk to them this way. When I want your attention, I'll say, hey. When I want their attention, I'll say, hey. See the difference? Fab Daddy says, hello, family. Happy Friday. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, Fab Daddy. That's right. What's up, buddy? Amanda says, hi. April says, proud of it. Woohoo. I'm proud of you, too. Congratulations. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'd like to see a whole chat room full of those. Oh. Linda Davis is here. She says, hi, all in chat. Hi, Linda. How are you? Nice to see you. Amanda says, or you can FAFO too, Fab, and then you'd know. Ooh, shots fired. April says, happy Friday, Fab Daddy. Linda, much love. Patty Donahue, she says, hello, all. Hi, Patty. How are you? Amanda says, hi, Linda Hunt. And Linda says, good to see you, beautiful April Rain. Aw. Fab Daddy says, I know about the P90. Right on. You see what that says, don't you? P90s. It's called a bison. It's called bison. I don't know what that is. A PP90? I don't know what that is. I know what a P90 is. It's a little soap bar shaped pickup. What it is sounds like Trump has took over the IRS with TRS Republic. Is that Trump System Republic? It might be. It wouldn't surprise me. I'd have to look into that, but it would not surprise me. Amanda says, hi, Patty. And if Trump has taken over IRS, you should be getting more money back, not less money. Linda says, hi, Amanda Love. April Rain says, Patty, how are you? April says, you're beautiful, Linda Lovely. Yeah, I saw a picture of you today. Very nice. I wish I could pull off the black hair. Very Greek. I know another Greek lady looks just like you. Fab Daddy says, I stopped trying to call everyone out by name. Why did I get so infamous? I love you all. Just understand I'm lazy. I hear you. Well, you're a personality there, Fab Daddy. And doing part by your personage and doing part by other people's ability to call you out. Amanda says, yes, April. Linda has a sexy mama pictures on Facebook. Oh, sexy mama pictures. Gotcha. Patty says, doing great, April. Thank you. And For Yourself says, can anyone tell me is good to get a hug? Well, that's retarded. Of course it's good to get a hug. It's always good to get hugs. EA says, hello, Abdullah. Hello, EA. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. And yes, For Yourself, go hug everyone. April says, but do the one arm around the neck hug with your waist backwards. Don't do the full frontal hug because that's awkward. A little pat, and that's it. Don't stay too long. It's like when you pee for a guy. If you shake it too many times, you're playing with it. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and that's it. It's one of those kind of things. April says, what it is, much love. And Bill, much love. Bill, you're so quiet, I forgot you were in here. What's up, Bill? I don't know if I said hello, but hello. Amanda says, hi, EA. And Fab Daddy says, virtual hug for yourself. For yourself. Virtual hug. That's right. An invisible hug from us to you. April says, hi, EA. Much love. And LOL Fab Daddy. EA says it remains 2 days to the end of Ramadan. All right. You'll have to eat during the day then, huh? Bill says, you guys are all awesome. God bless. Thank you, Bill. You're awesome too, sir. EA says, hi, everybody. Bill says, I got distracted. I have that effect on people. Fab Daddy says, Jake, how's the voice tonight? It's hanging in there, a little scratchy, but I think I could do a little something. Patty says, I like coming here also for good company. Well, we like having you, Patty. You're lovely, and we enjoy having you here. I believe you used the voice thing as a scapegoat from playing guitar. Why would you think that? I've been playing guitar for 40 years. Why would you think I'm trying to get out of it? Believe me, I'm not. I would love nothing more than be playing all night long. Linda Davis says, I got to go out to a business community dinner with my son, and I'm so proud of him. That's awesome. Is his business? Is he making money? Is that what you're saying? That's good. For Yourself says, 2 roommates watching. You, sir, me, and my dog. Hello, you and your dog. And your 2 roommates. Hello. Fab Daddy says, I've seen it. You have? Then play. You ain't got to sing. Okay. It goes both ways there, Fab Daddy. What it is says, God bless you all. God bless you too, what it is. And I'll play you something in a little bit. I am breaking in a new guitar, so, there will be some playing involved. If you hadn't seen my new guitar, it's on Facebook. It's beautiful. Go check it out. Fab Daddy says, I know I don't create content like you, Jake. That ain't what I meant. What I meant was, I was being nice. I ain't no dancing chicken. I'm like a jukebox, baby. You got to put a quarter in. I ain't just playing for free. But I would love to play for you. Matter of fact. Well, you say you were wrong to ever leave me alone. I got to turn my thing on. Hang on. That's the wrong one. It is off. Okay. You guys have been listening to me breathe all night. Sorry about that. Well, you say you were wrong to ever leave me alone. Now you're sorry, you're lonesome and scared. And you say you'd be happy if you could just come back home. Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. There you go. April says, God bless us all. And Amanda says, he's a dancing chicken for me. True. EA says, Ramadan ends when the moon is shown in the evening like a line. You mean a crescent moon? April says, and Fab Daddy, don't you play guitar too? He does. Fab Daddy says, can Jake play background music and read chat? Fab Daddy says, I do play, April. Bill Bennett says, I'll have to rewatch. Too much is happening. Love you guys. Well, Bill, we love you too. You stick around as long as you can, though, because it's going to get crazy here in a minute. Fab Daddy says, I wrote 3 guitar songs this year. Amanda says, have fun, Bill. And for yourselves, what is a goth girls? Goth girls are girls that wear too much white makeup and too much black hair dye and have very bad attitudes. For Yourself says, I have seen 3 people following a girl in weird and sus ways. That's suspect for all of you adult people. I even took pictures. Of it. I'm not going to lie about that. Well, I don't know why you would think you would have to lie about it, because nobody don't believe you. Yes, I can play music and talk and think at the same time, Fab Daddy. And do 10 other things too. EA says, why you don't make content teaching guitar? Well, because there's no money in it, honestly, EA. Everybody can pick up a guitar and learn for themselves, and me telling them how to do it ain't going to pay the light bill, so what's the point? It's a lot of work for nothing, which I already engage in quite regularly. And I'm not trying to add to that list. I think that's why. Fab Daddy says, one for every month. Song? Yeah. Fab Daddy says, oh yeah, I just hit the like button because I got a buzz. Cool. Hit that like button, says Fab Daddy. Yes, please, hit that like button. There's 13 people in chat and only 7 likes. That means at least 6 of you haven't hit the like button yet. Or 5 of you, or something, whatever. Yeah, 5 of you. Please hit that like button. Kevin Cox says, hey, big man. What's up, Kev? April says, hi, Kevin. Kevin says, hey, Amanda and Fab Daddy and Triple. Amanda says, he ain't got time, EA. Yeah, I'm pretty thin already there, EA. But I do have a video that teaches the basics, basically everything you need to know to get started. It's in here somewhere in the over 1,000 videos that I have to offer for free. So go check it out. If you want to learn to play guitar, I'll teach you the basics. Linda says, I was born with my black hair, but I do have to admit I have to dye it now and then, or else I'll look like a skunk. Well, I know exactly how you feel, because I've entered skunk territory. And I did dye it, and I looked retarded. So I let it grow out, and I haven't dyed it again. There's something sad about an old man with jet black hair. But it works for women. Women can pull that off. Men cannot pull that off. I'm supposed to get regal with old age. John says, hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late. On the cognac tonight. Had a bad day. Cognac? Cognac. On the cognac. Got it. On the cognac. Well, I'm sorry you had a bad day. Take it easy there, buddy. Drink you some water. Amanda says, LOL, Linda. EA says, in Morocco, there's an instrument called an oud. Cool. In America, there's an instrument called a juice harp. Doing diddy dang diddy doing diddy dang diddy doing diddy dang diddy. That is not what they call it. Amanda says, hi, John. Oh, no. Sorry about your day. Fab says, it's hard being blue. It ain't easy being green either. Ask Kermit. All the time on this chat thread, I think way different, and I feel sometimes I am a black sheep. Well, Fab Daddy, you're not. You're one of us, and we love you. So nobody's black sheeping you. You're not being pushed out by any other groups here. Nobody's ganging up on you, and I wouldn't let that happen if they did. But you do think differently, and that's okay. It takes all kinds to make the world go round. And Fab Daddy says, but family is family. Correct. Amanda says, kazoo? No, not a kazoo. The kazoo is a little alien on the Flintstones. A gazoo is the thing you're talking about. Anyway, I may have that backwards. Either way. I think I have that backwards. Anyway. Oh, a juice harp is a Jew's harp, Jews. And why they call it that? Well, your guess is as good as mine, but I would imagine it probably from its origins. And Linda says, men look good with salt and pepper hair. Well, thank you. I hope so, because that's what mine is going to be. Fab Daddy says, you kazoo? Why, yes. Yes, I do. Not only do I kazoo, I have an electric kazoo. You ever seen one of those? Mine has a cord and everything. Amanda says, yes, Linda, especially Sam Elliott. The only other guy in the world with a mustache as nasty as mine. It's me, him, and Tom Selleck. That's it. The oud is like the guitar. Yes, it is. I'm familiar. Ninja Rider, what's up, buddy? He says, I found a little baby duck today, and I named him Jake. Aw, is he ugly? Tell me he's ugly. Linda says, agreed, Amanda. And Fab Daddy says, no kazoo news is good kazoo news. Right on. And Amanda says, oh, Ninja, and hi. April says, I love you all. I'm going to have dinner with my handsome Kevin. Mwah, hugs and love. Hugs and love back at you, and thank you for being here. Tell Kevin we said hello. And Ninja says, also, the motor that I rebuilt on my living room, I installed it today and got it fired up in the process of breaking it in. Awesome. I can't wait to hear you ride it. Do a video of you riding it. Amanda says, good night, April. And Ninja says, nope. He's the most beautifulest thing in the world. I found him in someone's swimming pool. I have no idea how he got there. I would imagine he walked. I mean, ducks don't teleport, so pretty sure he walked. I have heard of a duck driving once, but I don't think that's how he did it. EA says they are talking in the media about Greenland, that U.S. will take over. Yes. USA. Anyway. Amanda says, did you bring him home, Ninja? I think he did. Linda says, well, you just named 3 of my favorite men. All right. Fab Daddy says, EA, no. Amanda says, they are fun pets. I had a duck that took up here a while back. This when my kids were first babies. And we called him Oreo because he looked like Oreo, the cookies and cream ice cream. That's what he looked like, salt and peppery, black and white, ugliest thing you ever seen in your life. And he just showed up here one day. There's a little pond out behind my house, so they kind of dip in there during season when they're passing through, you know. This one didn't leave. It just decided this was home. So it stayed here until it disappeared. Stayed here about 10 years. Lucky ducky. Fab Daddy says, is it political time? No, that'd be tomorrow. Ninja says, nope, there's no way he could walk. He's just fresh out of an egg. I think a hawk picked him up and dropped him in. But yes, I brought him home and he's safe and warm now. Aw. EA says, yes, Oreo. Yes, Oreo. It was an ugly duck, but it was a sweet duck. And it just decided to live here, I guess. It just didn't leave with the rest of them. And, every year they come and dip in that pond and then haul buggy south or north or wherever they're going. And this one just didn't leave. Maybe he got left behind and just imprinted on us. Who knows? Who knows what goes on in the mind of a duck? Ninja says he's a baby mallard duck. Or she. I'm not real sure. Anyway. Fab Daddy says, I like talking about food. We'll talk about food. What's for dinner? I had fajitas tonight in a taco shell. But it was a fajita. Honest. My stomach is telling me about it right now. But it's good. It was good. Linda says, nice, Ninja. And Amanda says, we had steak fajitas and homemade banana pudding for dessert. Yes, I forgot about the banana pudding. That was good, too. Fab Daddy says, if you can't tell, I am hungry. People in America starve. Well, that's your own fault, Fab Daddy. There's literally fat dripping off of every surface. There's no reason you should starve to death. You have a dog, don't you? Make a sandwich. That's all I'm saying. And if you can't bring yourself to do it, let me know. I'll send you a hamburger. No dog? Your neighbors have a dog, don't they? Amanda says, oh, Fab, are you hungry for real? Do you need me to send you some money? I'll hook you up, dog, if you need it. Fab Daddy says, I ate oats for 3 days. Well, I've been there. I once spent an entire month eating nothing but stovetop stuffing because that's all I had. And then I got up the nerve to go across the street to the cornfield and pick me some corn, and then I ate that. And here's what I didn't know. About half the year, they grow corn that is not edible, and it will literally tear your insides out. It's just for making like cow food and stuff like that. It is not sweet corn. I didn't know that, but I ate it anyway, and I didn't starve. I had a nice relationship with my toilet for a while, but I didn't starve. Anyway, if you're in bad shape, let me know. Reach out. If you don't, that's your own fault. I'm here for you. Black sheep and all. Linda Davis says, Fab Daddy, where you at? I'll feed you. See? Well, Fab, ball's in your court, buddy. Ninja says, back 10 years ago, when I did drugs, I did not eat for 20 days straight. I've done that on purpose. And Fab Daddy says, times have been rough and can always return. Well, let me know if you need something, buddy. I'm not joking. But I'm eating for now. Okay. Well, don't get in a bad spot. There's no need for that. If one of us is doing good, all of us are doing good. I'm not going to let anybody starve. And Amanda says, Fab Daddy, send me your address, and I can get Walmart to deliver some groceries to you. Mr. P says, I'm in the same damn boat, Fab Daddy. I just started a new gig. The check will be great, but I just stopped in to say hello and God bless. Hey, John, nice to see you, buddy. I'm glad the new job is doing well for you. Fab Daddy says, wow, I'm amazed at what? Amanda says, hi, Mr. Pete. And then she says, if you wish to say a prayer for all the bike riders. Also, could you sing I Saw the Light by Hank Williams Sr.? Maybe. If I can find the lyrics. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. And then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. I'm so happy, sorrow aside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Dear Lord, please watch over all the bikers and help them keep the rubber side down. In your Son, Jesus Christ's precious name we pray, always your will be done. Amen. How about that? Linda Davis says, hi, Mr. P, good to see you. Absolutely. Ninja says, God bless you, Amanda. That is so sweet. Yes, it is. Fab Daddy says, I got good family, both in real life and in cyber life. Did I tell you I love you? Well, I love you too, Fab Daddy. Seriously. Here's my email address right here. Email me your address. Some groceries will show up at your house. Amanda says, thanks, Ninja, but I would do it for anyone here if I can. Amen. And we love you too, Fab Daddy. Fab Daddy says, I was starving a few years ago. I hear you. Ninja says, Fab Daddy, if I had your Cash App, I'd send you some money. Fab Daddy says, not now. Linda says, we love you, Fab. We have your back. Just reach out and we'll be there. That's what family is for. Thank you, John, for the £5. I love you all, family. Thank you. God bless you, John. I'll put that to good use. Fab Daddy says, it's okay because I'm skinny. Right on. And Amanda says, don't ever go without, Fab Daddy. Just message me anytime. Right. There's no need to go without. And this goes for everybody here. Don't hurt yourself in this world. We are a community for a reason. This one of the reasons I built this community and invited all of you to be part of it, because we're stronger in numbers. We're stronger together. And this world is going to get tough. It's going to get real tough. And you need a community to survive it. You can't do it alone. Nobody out here, not me, not you, not anyone else, can walk it alone. Reach out. That's what we're here for. You got my email address. I will direct you to any person in the chat. If you want to reach out to somebody specific and don't know how to get up with them, talk to me. So there you go. Don't go without. We're here for you. Amanda says, thanks, John. Fab Daddy says, I'm used to it. I'm a thin beast of a man. Lean, mean fighting machine. Yeah, but there's no reason to do that. There's no reason not to have some meat on your bones. This time last year, I was starving to death too, believe it or not. And I fought my way through it, and now I'm well taken care of and well fed. And you can do the same. Amanda says, together we rise, divided we fall. Amen. Fab Daddy says, as a veteran of the military, I've never used any benefits. This is not a benefit. This is a friend. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, brother. Other than my GI Bill. Did your daddy work at the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and work on cars? Mama go to church and your daddy went to bars? Most people call you at the hillbilly side of town? Patty says, my daddy's family is from Cahoota, Georgia. A lot of gathering as a child. Wonderful small town. Yep. I had I forget. Is there a place in Georgia called Bird's Eye? Bird something or other. It's a place where we had a family reunion at. It's like a river, a swampy river, and a nice, like, park out there. And we used to have family reunions there every year. I think it's called Bird's Eye. I'm not exactly sure. My sister would know. I was a little boy. Fab Daddy says, I do need a pity party. I'm all for it. Poor Fab Daddy. You can do it, my friend. You can make it. You're tough. If you go without, it's your own damn fault. It's been offered. And I'm not the kind to repeat myself too often, but I mean what I say. Serious as a heart attack, mean as a rattlesnake, and I mean what I say. Amanda says, "Aw, Fab." Fab Daddy says, "Real men cry." Yeah, if they want to be losers and alone. I shed one tear every 5 years in the shower by myself with the door locked, whether I need it or not. The rest of the time, I suck it up and rub some dirt in it, and I'm a man. If you ever see me cry, the world's coming to an end. That's what I'm saying. I probably won't cry then either. That being said, you put on a sappy movie, and you can watch my belly jumping because I'm crying like a baby. You could cut my arm off, and I'd go, huh, and keep working. Put some duct tape on it. But you put Old Yeller on, I'm sobbing like a little girl. Ninja says, also, I should tell y'all, no, I did find me a girlfriend that has caught my eye and my heart. And she's also a Harley rider. I call her my Road King Queen. All right, Ninja, you go, man. It's good to have a girlfriend. And a Harley rider. Fab Daddy says, oh, movies can jerk a tear. Yes, they can. They know how to, that's just, the music, I think, swells up and gets me all emotional. That's right. Rub some dirt in it, says Ninja. Rub some dirt in it and keep moving. That's right. That's what my mama taught me. Fab Daddy says, I'm jealous, Ninja. Mine rides a Harley, too. Linda says, good news, Ninja. Congratulations. It's fantastic. I have another friend who just found a girlfriend, and he's been with a woman for many years, and he stayed because of his children. He's got 4 kids. And she is cheating on him right in front of him, like with his friends, you know. And he's just Mr. Mild. I've told him 1,000 times, dude, you are tougher than I am. I'd have threw her ass out years ago. He's like, no, I'm here for the kids. Until they turn 18, I'm not going to do nothing about it. And he hasn't. He's been a hell of a man. He takes care of everything around the house. She's just a faloozy whore. Does whatever she wants to do. And he's recently found him somebody that actually loves him, and I'm very proud for her. And I told him as much. Ain't none of my business. I ain't stepping in. I ain't getting involved. But I'm glad you did that. Linda says, Fab Daddy says, that's called Polly. Polly? Want a cracker, Polly? Or Polly, you mean Fifi, towel with a rubber glove. I think that's what you're talking about. Amanda says, I ride a Harley and Energizer. Anyway, Linda says, are you saying Amanda rides bitch? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Polly want a cracker, says Fab Daddy. Polysexual. Oh. No. I only swing one way, brother. Ninja says, my ex-girlfriend got a shirt that says, I may not ride a Harley, but I do ride a Harley driver. Right on. I think that's what Amanda just alluded to. Dirty girl. Amanda says, LOL, Linda. And Fab Daddy says, or open relations. No, there are no open relations. Nope. If I ain't enough man for you, I don't need you. If you got to get it elsewhere, be my guest. It ain't going to be on my dime. Amanda says, Jake likes it when I push my boobs up against his back. Easy now. Innuendo. Don't spell it out. Fab Daddy says, I can't handle more than one woman at a time. Me neither. I don't have the energy. That's why Amanda knows I won't ever cheat on her. I'm too lazy. I couldn't have another girlfriend. Hell no, Fab. I'm a one-man woman, says Amanda. Yep, she's good to me. You see the guitar she just bought me? That was a surprise gift yesterday, or day before yesterday. That was very nice, very lovely. Fab Daddy says, juggling is asking for the ball to drop. Right. And it will. It always does. Here's the truth. Polyamorous relationships cannot stand. A divided house cannot stand. Ultimately, I mean, there's all kinds of sexual flavors. But ultimately, it comes down to, I have needs that need to be met. and you have needs that need to be met. And if you put another need in there, somebody is going to be neglected. There's just no way around that. It comes down to the basics. The basics is I need to trust you, and you need to trust me. I need to communicate. You need to communicate. I need to know you got my back. You need to know I got yours. A third party confuses that. There is no way to have a polyamorous relationship and make it work. Not when it's the simple things in life that matter. If it's just about sex, go let your freak flag fly. But if you want a home, you can't do that. Never have sex with your friends' girlfriends. If you're going to have a threesome, do it with strangers, because it'll ruin a relationship, I promise. The idea is much more fun than the act, I promise. I've been there. I can tell you for sure. It's very kinky to think about. It's very exciting to think about. It's a beautiful thought. The moment it becomes reality, it's a problem. It just is. Linda says, I don't believe there's a real relationship if it's an open relationship. Correct. Can't be, because a relationship is binary. That's two people coming together as one team, two flesh becoming one. The Bible describes it in Genesis. It's right. It's correct. There is no other way to do it. This is the harmony that God created, and if you want to do it any other way, you have the right and the will to do so, and God will allow you to do it and will judge you accordingly, but he still loves you. But listen, if you want to live harmoniously in his world, you have to do things his way. If you do it another way, you will not find happiness, because happiness requires harmony, and harmony requires following the laws of physics. So let's not make it a religious thing. Let's make it a physics thing. It's physically impossible to go three directions. It's not possible. An atom can only go in one direction at a time. Amanda says, LOL, there was no way to innuendo that. Oh, yes, there is. Would you like me to give you an illustration? Jake gets excited when I lean forward. Innuendo. Amanda says, right, Linda? And there is nothing sexy about a hoe. True. I don't know why this new empowerment, female empowerment thing going on in the past 2 decades, really strongly the past decade, women looking like pincushions and thinking that it empowers them. If you look like a porcupine, I don't want to approach you. That goes for porcupines and women. If you got a bunch of pricks sticking out of you, I want to leave you alone. I mean, it's basic. It's basic. It's nature. Go outside in the woods and walk around. When you see a cactus, you walk around it, right? Why? Because you don't want a thorn in you. If you got as many pricks sticking out of you as you've had sticking in you, you're not a good fit. Ladies, let Uncle Jake tell you a story. Virtue is an intrinsic value, like gold. Gold is valuable because it never tarnishes. Women are valuable because they have 1, maybe 2 times of imprinting in their brain. What does that mean? The first time you become sexually active, you imprint like a duck, right? When a duck opens its eyes, the first thing it sees is his mother, whatever that is. And they are hardwired that way. A woman has that ability. The problem is it doesn't last. If you do it once, and most first relationships are awkward and uncomfortable and sometimes even dangerous, so they don't ever work out. Very rarely does a first relationship work out. The problem is that's where the imprint happens, and that's why you remember it for the rest of your life, and it affects the rest of your life if it's a bad situation. Ask any woman who's ever been raped or ever had an uncomfortable first encounter. Sex is awkward to start with, but sometimes it gets a little more awkward. Sometimes it's downright scary. I understand that. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just telling you the reason you remember it, the reason it affects the rest of your life is because you imprint on that partner, whether it's good or not. So, The reason a woman's virtue is intrinsically valuable is because it is fleeting. You only get one, maybe two shots at it at the best, and the second time around ain't as good as the first time. The reason that I can pull a wife from 35 years ago is because I was the first, and I'm the last. See? It lasted 35 years. 35 years I was the only thought in that brain. Even though there were other relationships, she thought about me. And then fate brought us back together. It wasn't, I didn't reach out to her. She didn't reach out to me. It just kind of happened. Boop. We came up in the same spot. And here we are, 35 years later, the same place we were 35 years ago. That's why it's valuable. So you must guard it with your life. It is that important. You can't just give it away. Ladies, your virtue is the most important thing on planet Earth. It is literally what makes the world go round. Every song that has ever been written, every movie that's ever been made, every book that's ever been written, every building that's ever been built, every road that has ever been laid down was done so ultimately because of a woman. Trust me on that. Without women, there is no world. There's just dudes in caves trying to figure out who can hit the other one with a stick and not pass out. Right? Or spinning around in a circle till your teeth fall out. Something like that. That's what the world looks like with no women. A bunch of dudes chasing each other around on office chairs and fire hydrants and shit like that. It's not a pretty sight. Women, understand the power you have, understand the value of your body, and understand that if you even remotely understood the power you possessed, you could rule the world. With just a wisp, a hint of access, every guy in the world would be at your beck and call. But you don't seem to, for whatever reason, you don't seem to grasp the value of what you have. Trust me, it's important. And God designed it that way. Anybody care to disagree? Amanda says, right, Linda, and there is nothing sexy about a hoe. I read that one. Ninja says, all on the bike. I get it. I was so scared there for a minute. Ha ha ha. John says, I got a lady. I freed her oil, gas, and water. I fill her oil, gas, and water when she needs it. That's a good innuendo there, John. Nice. Little dipstick action. I'm with you. Ninja says, my chest is not showing other people's texts for some reason. Your chest is not showing other people's text. Make sure you're on live chat. Live chat. Make sure it's not on all or top. Make sure it's on live. For whatever reason, sometimes it is funky like that. Where am I at? My chat jumped and I'm lost. Hang on. I found it. Amanda says, LOL, John. And Fab Daddy says, Jake, I don't think you should tell how anyone else should feel about their sex. Why is that, Fab Daddy? You think I'm wrong? Would you like to take a poll instead of just self-righteousing yourself into a coma? Would you like to ask the ladies in the room if I'm incorrect? I'm not telling anybody how to feel about sex. I'm telling you as a matter of fact what sex is, and most people don't seem to understand that, but that's not me telling them that. That's a fact. What I'm saying is truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes people don't want to hear it. But if you want to know, if you're ever in doubt, just ask. Is he right? Is he saying something that's factually correct? There's a lot of women in here. Most of them are over the age of 21, and I'd be willing to put money down without even looking that they'll back me up on what I just said. Let's see. Let's find out. Ninja says, okay, I got it fixed. Excellent. And Fab Daddy says, but you can have your beliefs. It's not a belief. It's a matter of fact, Fab Daddy. I'm not espousing beliefs. I don't particularly have any belief on the subject. I do all right when it comes to the ladies, in case you haven't noticed. Amanda says, close the chat and then reopen it and put it on all messages, Ninja. I think it's supposed to be on live messages, but whatever. And Ninja says, yep, that's what I did. I don't know how it changed. It was on Top Chat. Yeah, sometimes it does that. I don't know why. And Amanda says, okay, good. And by the way, Fab Daddy, people ask for my opinion on things because my opinion is usually valid. That's what being an influencer means, right? That's my job, is to give advice. You don't have to take it, but for me to not say something that I think is true would be the opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing here, which is saying things that I think is true, which is why most people tune in to hear me talk for 2 hours at a time. Amanda says, okay, good. Ninja says, I had a threesome with my girlfriend one time, and then my girlfriend kind of faded away for some reason. Oh, so yeah, it's not a good thing. And unfortunately, nobody believes that when they're going into it because it seems like such a sexual fantasy. But the problem is everybody has the same story. Yeah, we did it, and it blah, 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 blah. Or are you still together? No, it kind of didn't work out. Well, I wonder why. You cannot have a relationship when what a relationship is based on is mutual trust. And if you break that mutual trust, even if you're in agreement to do so, you cannot repair it. The relationship is over. You're just prolonging the inevitable at that point. You're just pushing the can down the road, but it's over. I promise. It's just like when a woman sees that you're weak. There is nothing that'll dry a woman up faster than a man that's weak, that cannot be decisive, that cannot fix a problem when it arises. I don't care what she says out of her mouth. I want a man that makes me laugh. No, she doesn't. I want a man that is in touch with his feminine side. No, she doesn't. That is programming, the kind of stuff that Fab Daddy's acting on right now. That is programming of the society coming out of her mouth. That's someone else's words. But I assure you, the first tear that falls down a man's face, she loses respect. The first time he gets upset and shows his feminine side to her, she loses respect. And respect is the thing that keeps him lofty in her mind. And when he loses it, all of a sudden she can do better. I'm sorry, that's the reason that 10% of the guys are sleeping with all percents of the women. Because the bad guy is what they're after, because he is at least decisive. It's not because he's bad. Ask a woman. If you don't believe me, they'll always tell you, I look for the bad guy for whatever reason. I have bad taste in men. No, you don't. You're looking for a thing that you can't find, and that's decisiveness. That's trustworthiness. That's stoicism. That's strength. Unfortunately, toxic masculinity, as they call it today, or the bad guy, exhibits those traits, which is why she's attracted to him. Unfortunately, being bad and being good are not all that dissimilar. The difference is what you do with it, right? But the actions are the same. So when a bad guy shows strength and decisiveness, the woman is automatically, naturally attracted to it. Unfortunately, he's making bad decisions with those decisive traits, and that's why he's a bad guy. And then she finds that out, and then it's too late. She's already wrapped up, and then it's a big problem, inevitably leading to a breakup. And that's also why nice guys always finish last, because nobody's attracted to nice. Nice doesn't keep you safe. Nice doesn't build houses. Nice cannot win a battle. Think about what you're saying. There's a reason lefties are losing it. Fab Daddy says, I appreciate the Bible study, and we do have different opinions. I'll save it for that show. I need a pity party. Well, you have a pity party, and you can do that. That's fine to have a different opinion. I'm not espousing opinions, though, Fab Daddy, and that's your first mistake, and it'll always be your mistake as long as you're thinking I'm telling you my opinions. This is not my religion. This is observations of many years of living in the real world, dealing with real people. My job, since I was a child, is to be able to look at a person, read them, and then deliver something that they appreciate on a whim. And I'm good at it. I'm good at reading people. How am I good at it? Because I've been studying them my whole life. It's not an opinion. People react to certain stimuli. They always have. They always will. Women are just people with tits. Anyway. Sometimes. Oh, poor Fab Daddy. Pat, 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 pat. There you go. Amanda says, like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Right. That's the loose women that are empowered, which, by the way, for some strange reason, all seem to be hitting the wall right about now. That's why there are thousands and thousands of podcasts of women surprised that their obscure behavior ain't doing it for them. Surprised they make millions of dollars on OnlyFans and they're miserable. Why? Surprised nobody loves them. Surprised they can't keep boyfriend. Why? Female empowerment. Feminism is a poison apple. It didn't start out that way. I actually support the original feminism ideas. But feminism was hijacked somewhere in the 80s or maybe even the 70s, and now it's a completely different cult. And it is ruining an entire generation of women. And a lot of them, thankfully, are waking up. There's also lots of people on YouTube and on other platforms talking about their exodus from feminism. Like the women and men could do the same thing when the Nordic music and the woman showing pictures of men doing actual hard work, and then she says, know that the differences are important. Wake up from the delusion. Those kind of women exist because of feminism. They're starting to see that that isn't the right way to look at life. Same thing with the manosphere, by the way. Those guys are crazy too, so I'm not just picking on women. Amanda says, I read that one. Fab Daddy says, starving for attention. Well, you got plenty of attention, buddy. Amanda says, you need a friend, Fab Daddy. He has a friend right here. One day he'll see it. And Fab Daddy says, yes, I do need a friend. You have one right here. One day you'll see it. Might be the best friend you ever had, because I won't lie to you. Amanda says, or get you a cat or a dog to love. Well, that worked for me. I started feeding the neighborhood cats, and now I got a whole house full of cats and dogs and girls and everything else. Showing love is important. Fab Daddy says, no animals. I feel the same way, but you got to give love where you can give it. It ain't just about receiving love, Fab Daddy. That's the thing about love. Love will not come if you're looking for it to come. The only way you can achieve love is to give love selflessly. And then it'll come back to you, because we live in a reciprocal universe. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. Try it. You'll see I'm right. If you give love, you will receive love, but you can't get it any other way. And Amanda says, oh, Fab Daddy. Fab Daddy says, done with being a pet owner. I hear you. Me too. My fingers have holes all in them. Dog likes to chew. Amanda says, well, damn, Fab. And Fab Daddy says, I'm a mess, Amanda. We all are. And Amanda says, well, if you just need a friend or someone to talk to, you know how to message me. Right on. Fab Daddy says, pity party time. It's getting hot in here. Take your clothes off then. You're by yourself. Go for it. Linda says, Fab, my pup is the most loyal, loving thing I have, and I would be so lonely without him. Aw, Linda, well, we love you too, and we're loyal. Hang on. Jumped again. I guess I'm going too slow. Uh-oh. Where the heck is it? What are you trying to say? She said, or talking too much. It's my job. Oh. Fab Daddy says, it's good to have pets. Been there, done that. Right on. Amanda says, I feel you there, Linda. Even though this little shit gets on my nerves sometimes, I love having her company when Jake's at work all day. Which is why you got her. And Fab Daddy says, yes, let's have a poll on your chat. Do you want a poll? I'll give you a poll. What should it say? Engage with your audience. Let's see. Start a poll. All right. Ask a question. Does Jake understand women. Period. Nope. Question mark. Even better. Vote. There you go, Fab Daddy. There's your poll. Amanda says, what's the poll question, Fab? Live on computer, top on phone. That's for the chat, right? Live for a computer and top chat for a phone. Okay, makes sense. I don't think it's supposed to be top chat. I think top chat is just what's has been said. Live chat is what's being said currently. Because this is going out live, but it stays afterwards. So if you watch it 2 hours from now, it won't be a live chat. So that's why top chat is there. I think that's what, right. Patty says, Amanda, you have become James' beautiful backrest. Jake's beautiful backrest. Yes. Talking about riding on the Harley? Yes. Also, she's safe back there. That's why that position is available. It's not a slight. I wouldn't let anybody drive my Harley. Patty says, Jake, not James. Well, either way, I don't care. Fab Daddy says, does Jake dislike when people question his beliefs? No, because I'm not espousing beliefs. I dislike when people don't understand the difference between reality and belief systems, and I'm not espousing beliefs. John says, three's a crowd. Absolutely. Whoa. Amanda says, oh, yes, Patty. Thanks. He made the world to me. Aw. He means the world to me. Aw. Thank you very much. You mean the world to me, too. Fab Daddy says, Jake is hard-headed. No, I'm not. I'm right. There's a difference. Not hard-headed at all. When I'm wrong, I sit in my place. Ask people who have heard me say I was wrong before. It's not very often, but it happens. And Patty says, thumbs up. And Amanda says, what man isn't, Fab Daddy? Right? Fab Daddy says, true. And John says, I'm a one-woman man. Simple. Amen, John. Trust goes a long way, especially if you can back it up. There's nothing worse than thinking you are trusting somebody, thinking you trust them, and then them breaking your trust. That's the worst feeling in the world. I don't wish that on anybody, which is why I'm honest. It's not a personal integrity. I'm not just a good person. I just really hate being made a fool of, so I don't want to put anybody else through that. Amanda says, and Ninja, sometimes the ads will kick your chat back to top messages. Okay, well, there's an explanation of why it happens. Fab Daddy says, what woman isn't a hardhead, Amanda? Right. I think hard-headed is an expression that people use when they don't make a good point. I made a good point, and my point stands. And it doesn't matter if you believe it or if anybody believes it. It doesn't matter if everybody here thinks I'm a hot-headed, arrogant asshole for saying the things that I say. I'm not wrong. You can check it. That's what empirical science is. You can test it and repeat it. And there's enough empirical evidence throughout the ages to support my hypotheses that says I'm right. And the reason I'm right is because I'm repeating what has been happening for thousands of years. It's not anything I know personally. It's just an observation. Amanda says, and being hard-headed and set in your ways are two different things. Right. I'm not hard-headed. I'm also not arrogant, but for some reason people keep calling me that. That's okay, but I'm not arrogant. Look it up in the dictionary. I'm confident. I might be cocky, but I'm not arrogant. When two heads bump, is there attraction? No. When two heads bump, is there attraction? No. That's not what attraction is. Attraction is a chemical reaction to pheromones. It's literally you're being drugged. That's literally what attraction is, and that's why it fades after about 3 weeks. Attraction will not keep a relationship together. The only thing that can is trust. Amanda says, I spent 20 years where I wore the pants in the relationship because he wasn't about shit and wouldn't do shit. 20 years of having to be the man in the relationship. I would imagine that's rough. Fab Daddy says, ew. Sorry, Amanda. Yeah, some guys just ain't worth the weight that they carry. They ain't worth the air they breathe. And she, unfortunately, was hooked up with one. She does not have that problem currently. But I digress. Ask her that, not me. She's a better judge of what I am than I am. Amanda says, thanks, Fab. It made me strong, independent woman, though. Hard-headed. Fab Daddy says, but I like a woman in Wranglers. Me too. And Linda says, Fab Daddy, as a woman that's been married for almost 30 years, women do not like to share the man they love. If a man wants attention from more women, then we tend to not want them anymore. It doesn't matter what they tell you. That's a fact. Women say all kinds of things, but reality is how they react to a stimuli. And when you bring a third party into the relationship, it stimulates a woman in a negative way, regardless of what she says or thinks. She will react in a negative way, always. Even if it's her best friend. They won't be friends for long. Amanda says, agreed, Linda. Fab Daddy says, we all, at our age, have been scarred by love. Well, this is true. Some more than others. Some have a collection. All are in pursuit of one thing. Trust. That's the one. If you distill down all of your aspirations, all of your desires, all of your needs, every relationship you've ever been in, if you examine them critically without putting your emotions into it, just look at it analytically and look at the situation and see what the problem were, you will discover that ultimately in the Venn diagram of things needed, trust is the most important one there is, hands down, in every bad relationship. It's a lack of trust that caused it to fail every single time. Amanda says, LOL, well, your dog is passed out in the closet. Yeah. Fab Daddy says, love is a 4-letter word. Yes, it is. So is tiny. Fab Daddy says, sorry, everyone, I smoked sativa and had a 6-pack of beer. So, no holds barred. Well, that's fine, Fab Daddy. That's cool. And Fab Daddy says, I like the poll. Well, it looks to be divided, but I can guarantee you that the lack of percentages is due to men voting, not women. Every woman in here, I guarantee I know their vote. If they voted. Most of them probably didn't vote. Fab Daddy says, if you said yes, you are wrong. To what? If you said yes, you are... No, that's not how that works, Fab Daddy. That's not how wisdom works at all. Amanda says, Amy says, like, shared, and invited some friends. And hey, y'all. Hey, Amy. Nice to see you. And Amanda says, hi. And Fab Daddy says, hey, Amy. Fab Daddy says, hard-headed is stubborn foolishness. Really? You just called me a stubborn fool? Somebody doesn't understand this dynamic. It's interesting how you would stand at the mouth of a cave looking up at a dude with a long white beard and a robe and a book and call him a fool. Kind of makes you wonder why you're not standing at the mouth of a cave with a long white beard and a robe and a book. I'm about to lose a light. Amanda says, LOL, cocky. That's what my belt buckle says. Diego, he says, hi, everyone. What's up, Diego? And Amanda says, hi. And Diego says, I got a new phone, by the way. Cool. My old one no longer works. Well, that would be weird. Yeah. I've never had a phone for more than 2.5 years. I'm so clumsy. I'm determined to keep this one for 3 to 4 years. Look, good luck with that. I usually break one about every year, so that seems to be the going rate, which is why I don't own an iPhone, because I can't see paying $1,000 for something I'm going to break. Amanda says, get a good shock-proof case and a Gorilla Glass, and it will last you, Diego. Right on. Yeah, get this stuff. Oh. Can you see that? That's what you need for your phone right there. It's cheap. You can get it on Amazon or Temu or whatever, and it'll last. It'll make your phone last a lot longer than it would ordinarily. And get you one of those plastic cases. I've got a very simple one, but I've dropped it 4 or 5 times and it just bounces. So it'll break that Gorilla Glass, but the device stays safe. Fab Daddy says, example. Example what? No man can ever understand a woman. That's a lie. Only a man with a small brain would think that. Linda says, I don't want to have to be a strong, independent woman. If I wanted that, I wouldn't have gotten married again. I was born in the wrong era. Amen, sister. I hear you on that one. And that, my friend, Fab Daddy, is the crux of this entire argument. Look at what Linda just said. Let's analyze this from an analytical standpoint. To analyze. A lot of analyzing going on. Anyway, I don't want to have to be a strong, independent woman. No one has said or suggested that she's not a strong, independent woman. She's probably stronger than you and me both. She probably has the patience of a deity. She probably can handle pain like nobody's business. She probably has the grit to grit her teeth and get through a week. Regardless of what the outcome is, regardless of what the obstacles are, she'll make it because she has to. But she doesn't want that. What she wants is safety, security, trust, and comfort. And that's what all women want. All of them. Even the ones that don't want it, that's what they want. Right? Most of them don't have the wherewithal to admit that to themselves because of the society in which we live and all of the pressures of that society pressing them to be something other than that. For what reason, I don't know, but that's where we're at in this world. And I assure you it will backfire because women are not designed to do that. If you'll go back to the Bible, and I base everything I think on the Bible because it's the truth. If you'll go back to the beginning and it tells you, go right to the source. When God created Eve to be an helpmeet, that means an assistant. That means a backbone. That means a structure. That means something that supports the thing that causes everything to happen. That's what a woman was designed to do. There is no way around that. There are 2 distinct personality types, male and female. And they both have a role in the world, and neither one should be here alone because it's not good. And the Bible says that too. It's not good to be alone. You need support. Both sides. Women and men are not X's and O's. They're not square pegs and round holes. They are the same thing, but they're different halves of the same thing. And the only way you can have a whole thing is if you have both halves of that thing. And then you have a whole thing. If you only have a half of it, then you're missing something. Doesn't matter which half. It's missing something. You put them both together, now you have something that can suffice. You have something that has harmony, that lives with nature. That's what it was designed for. A man has a role, a woman has a role. Both are equally valuable, but in different areas. It's just the way it is. It's not to say you can't do it any way you want to. You can switch the roles. You can, any variable you want to add to it, you can. You have free will. But if you want it to work, if you want harmony, if you want natural existence to occur, then you have to play by the physical rules of nature. You have to put the things together that go together. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Render unto God what is God's. What God puts together, let no man tear asunder. No man can, because that's the natural way world works. That's all I'm saying. But this idea that no man can understand a woman, or anything else for that matter, I beg to differ, sir. I do quite well, regardless of what the poll says. Which I'm guessing probably 3 people voted on. That would equal about 56%. John says, I've been scared, but haven't give up faith in women. When you know you got the right one, it will make your heart skip. True. Actually, you'll know it's the right one because you won't notice anything remarkable. It'll just be. That's the right one, right? If you're looking for fireworks, that's not how you judge that. Because fireworks can happen with a total stranger. You can have butterflies with somebody you've never spoke to. Yeah, it's called attraction. That's a chemical reaction. That's where your physical makeup is compatible with her pheromones and your body responds to it. You get flush in the face, your heart starts pitter-pattering, you get lightheaded, everything, for lack of a better word, gets hard and ready to go. Well, that's called physical attraction. That's what makes the world go around, because if without that, you would never meet anybody. You'd never feel compelled to go after somebody or to take a chance. That's what that causes. But if you want to know who the right one is, the right one is being able to sit in a room with them for an hour and not say a word and nobody be uncomfortable. Or to feel something and the other person respond because they felt it too. That's the right one. So if you're looking for the partner that is the right one, the soul mate, look for somebody that's unremarkable to you. Look for somebody that you're just comfortable talking to. Look for somebody that you don't have to try to be yourself around. If it comes easy, if it's just plain, it's perfect. That's the one. That's the one that'll last. Amanda says, I like when Jake's chat jumps and he doesn't know what's going on. I like being strong, Linda, but I like having a stronger man, says Amanda. Thank you. And Jake understands me pretty good. Thank you, ma'am. And you better not break that phone, Jake. Yep. She understands me pretty good, too. Fab Daddy says, Jake and Chat, my gamer friends, want me to join their death squad. I love you all. 2 and 5. I hear you, buddy. I'd run, too, if I was getting my tail whipped, metaphorically speaking. 69. Nice. Amy says, sorry, super duper busy at work. I'm listening, not chatting. Well, we love you, Amy. Thank you for being here, honey. And Amanda says, have fun on your death squad there, Fab. Yeah, knock 'em dead, buddy. Literally. And Linda says, I've had to be strong for too long. I want a break. Amen, sister. I hear you. And you deserve one. And Amanda says, right, Linda. The Fab Daddy says, I was sent to this channel by my Lord to give you grief. Have a great weekend. Well, you're not giving me any grief, Daddy. I'm not going to lose an ounce of sleep over our conversation. Good try, though. You keep working at it. Maybe one day you'll get a little leg up on that wall. You're not hurting me at all, though. And John says, Linda is so right. She is that. Linda says, amen, Jake. Exactly, 100%. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you for your votes. This was a poll for Fab Daddy's entertainment. I don't particularly think that I understand women in a particular way more so than anybody else. It is not an arrogant stance that I'm taking. I just put the poll up because he asked me to. So enjoy. I don't know why that would be important, but there it is. Amanda says, you too, Fab. See you later. Amy says, men and women complement each other. Exactly. They are two halves of the same circle. They are the yin yang. That's quite literally what that expression means in some instances. I apologize for the flicker, and I'm losing a light source here. Dakota says, hey, friends. What's up, Dakota? And Bill says, howdy. I'm back. Well, that's amazing. I didn't know you had left. And Linda says, hi, Dakota. And Dakota says, hey, Amy Elizabeth. And John says, thank you, chat. You all have cheered me up. Awesome. That's great. What's up, Aaron? Aaron's here. Aaron's got the, what is that? It looks like a snow-capped mountain. I don't think that's what it is, though. My nose itches. Bubba, do you use steroids? No, sir, I do not. Linda says, hey, Bill, welcome back. And Dakota says, hey, Linda. Amanda says, hi, Dakota. And Bill says, trade secrets. Right on. Ninja says, I'm back. My girlfriend came by, and I had talked to her for a minute. Well, that's awesome, Ninja. Tell her we said hello and invite her to the show. Amanda says, Aaron, what's up, bro? Dakota says, hey, Amanda. And Aaron says, Aaron says, sup, Amanda? And Linda says, hi, Aaron. Smiley face, wavy hand. Aaron says, hey. Dakota says, hey, Jake. Sup? How you doing? How you doing? What's happening out there in the real world? Amanda says, to finish each other's sentences or thoughts. Yes. What you want in a partner is comfort. It's the easiest thing in the world, but it's the hardest thing to find, is to just be comfortable. If you don't feel like you have to put on an air, if you don't feel like you have to be your best or put your best foot forward, you're just you, and it's okay. If you can just be comfortable, you have found something special. Believe that. Aaron says, it's funny, Jake, talking about this. I just came from 2 dates in a row, and that's an easy thing for us. Going good. That's great, man. I'm glad you're dating. I'm glad you're out there getting it done. And that easy thing for us is going good. I got you. Yeah. 2 dates in a row. Are you talking about second date with the same person or 2 separate dates? Because if you're talking about the same person and you're saying that you can just be comfortable around her, push forward, keep the momentum, take her on a 3rd date, up the ante a little, take her to a nice place, spend a little bit of money. She's worth it. Trust me. You want somebody that you can feel comfortable with. You want somebody that if you're sick and you show her the worst side of you, she's got your back and it doesn't bother her at all. You want somebody that if you come in from a hard day's work and you stink, she never says a word. She just gets up under your arm and gives you a hug. That's the woman. That's the one right there. The one that is comfortable. The one that you can talk to. The one you don't feel ashamed of things in front of. If you're trying too hard, it's not going to make for a good relationship, and ultimately it will fail because you can't keep up that ruse forever. Sooner or later, you have to be yourself. Sooner or later, you have to be wearing sweatpants and have a bad mood, you know. And when you do that, you will find out who the sticker is and who the lever is. But you can avoid all that by just being around somebody that's comfortable to be around. That you don't feel anxious, that you don't have to think about things to talk about. If you're trying to think of things to talk about, this is not a good pair. You're going to run out, right? If it just happens naturally, then it's meant to be. Amanda says, awesome, Aaron. You go, bro. Or you go, boy. And Aaron says, high five. I'm happy to see Jake. I'm happy to see you, Aaron. I hope you're doing well, and I hope she's lovely. I really do. I want nothing more than everybody to be completely happy with their partner and to have a long-lasting relationship where you know you're loved. That's the most important thing in this world by far, outside of who you worship. We're literally here for just that reason, to decide who to worship everything else is just icing on the cake, or however you want to look at it. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. What matters is who you worship. If you trust in God and you love God and you're with God, that everything else is secondary to that. But as far as physical nature goes, as far as the world is concerned, love is paramount. It's the most important thing you can ever do. And I wish it for all of you. And Amanda says something in sign language. And we are happy having you, Aaron. Yes, we are. Amanda says, it's two people hugging. Oh, well, I see it now. Before, I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. Ninja says, what I look for in a woman is a pulse. I'm sorry. Is a good conversation, comfortable laughter, and hugs and kisses, of course. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm suggesting if you don't have to think about something to say, if you're not searching for the next topic or trying to find out what she's interested in, or if you're past that, if you can just sit quietly, and then if something comes up, it does, and if it doesn't, cool. That's what you're after. Trust me, because ultimately it's going to come down to sitting in a room with somebody that you have nothing to talk about with, and that comfortable silence is paramount in that moment. Because if you don't have that, it's going to get awkward. John says, and listening and communication is a good thing in a relationship. It's the most important thing. You have to be able to communicate. I tell people that are new in relationships, here's what you need to do. Day one, if possible. Day two, second date, third date, whatever. You need to sit down and have a real conversation with the person. And you need to lay out what your needs are. The moment you think this relationship is going to the next level, you need to begin negotiations right then. If you don't negotiate it, you can't complain when you don't receive it. You can't expect everybody to know what you're thinking or what you're needing. You can't imagine that people will read your mind. You have to tell them what you need and make it clear. Build a business relationship. Sit down and negotiate. Ask her what she needs. Tell her what you're willing to give her, what you're willing to provide, what you are about. Tell her who you are. Tell her all your hang-ups. Tell her all your strengths. And tell her what you bring to the table. This is a negotiation. Ask her what she brings to the table. Don't be coy. Just tell her, we're trying to make a pair here. I want this to last. In order to do that, we have to understand each other. And communication is everything. If you don't have a negotiation, you have messed up. That's why when a relationship fails, and the number one reason is we just can't communicate. If you start out communicating, you don't have that problem. Amanda says, yes, John, communication and trust are first. Excuse me. Yes. Well, that should be for everything. If you're not trustworthy, what are you doing? Right? Honestly. Why are you here? Why are you in the world? If you're not trustworthy, if your word has no value, what are you doing? You're a grown human being. You should be able to say something, and everyone around you should be able to count on the thing that you said. That's what being an adult is, I think. So trust is everything. If you're the kind that runs around, you don't need to be in a relationship. Don't waste somebody else's time. Go run around and have your fun, but don't dare tell somebody that you're honest and faithful while you're out running around. There's no reason to put somebody through that. You do you. Whatever you are is fine, but don't waste other people's lives. You don't get that time back. Ninja says, my girlfriend is amazing. Oh, sorry. My girlfriend is amazed at how I can stand there and listen to her talk for hours. Well, that's good. You're a good listener. Smart. If possible, always make the conversation about her. Everybody loves to talk about themselves. Let that be the conversation. If you spend all your time talking about yourself, she's probably going to lose interest. You want to be a mystery to her. You want to let her discover you like unwrapping a present. Every little good thing about you, you want her to happen upon it and then be amazed that it's there. That's the relationship you want to give her. She needs you to be interested in her because she's looking ultimately for someone who can take care of her, right? She needs to know you can raise the kids or keep that roof over the head or whatever it is that you're looking for in the world. A woman needs to know she can count on you above all things. It doesn't even matter if she likes you. She needs to know she can count on you. And if she can, that's enough most of the time. Everything else is secondary to that. You got to be accountable. You got to be a man that she knows she don't have to worry whether or not you're going to get kicked out in a month or whether the lights are going to go off or whether we're going to have food in the refrigerator in 3 days. She don't need to think about those things because that's what women think about. They are nesters. They want things in order. That's why they get so mental about silly shit like towels, because it's in their DNA to put things in order. That's what a nester does. They get things prepared. So give her that. Give her the comfort of knowing, I got you. No matter what's going on in the world, I got you. You're safe. You don't have to think about that. Whatever you need, you will have. Hands down, and then prove it. And if you'll do that, she'll be yours forever. Promise. Write it down that I said so. Aaron says, second date, same person. Awesome. And we did a nice place and all day on the beach. And she said, I bring her peace. Aaron, congratulations, my friend. Enjoy. Up the ante. Take her to a third place. Third date. Be romantic. Don't ask for her to put out. A little kiss at the end will do just fine. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Aaron says, congrats, Ryder. On the girlfriend, yes. And congratulations to you too, Aaron. Amy says, right, Ninja. Before I moved up here, Jake and I would talk on the phone for 5 or more hours every day. Guess who don't get a phone call anymore? Ninja says, my little duck is so cute, and he's running around his little pen. Aw, well, you've got her name yet? What are you going to name it? And pictures. Send pictures. Put a little water in there, maybe. Amanda says, you got to put some videos on your channel, Ninja. Right on. Amy says, how's the puppy? Beautiful. She's in there sleeping right now. She's adorable. Linda says, I want to be 80 years old sitting on the porch watching the world go by together. I know the feeling. And Ninja says, yes, most definitely I've been slacking. Yeah, get some videos up there. It's hard to like videos that aren't there to like. By the way, if you guys hadn't checked out Ninja's channel yet, go by and check it out. Show him a little bit of love. He's doing pretty good work over there. Got him a nice little motorcycle channel going. And now a duck. Aaron says, thank you, Amanda, for saying you guys like me. Here, it's good to belong, and you guys are high value. Well, thank you, Aaron, and God bless you. And if that's true, you also are high value because you're one of us. Right? So you're up there in the club with us, buddy. And Amanda says, spoiled rotten and getting fat and sassy, Amy. The little puppy, she is spoiled rotten. She goes everywhere we go. And she loves me, too. She starts crying when I leave for work, and she's waiting for me all day long. When I come in, she's happy as she can be. Beautiful little thing. Ninja says, I sell knives at the flea market. I would love to put that on live because I hate editing videos. I understand, but that's part of the job. If you're going to be a content creator, you got to learn how to edit. But there are ways to make it easier. And like I told you before, whatever you lack in knowledge, I'll be glad to help you out with. So just let me know what you need to do, and I'll tell you the easy way to do it. I run this whole show right by myself, everything involved. I got most of it automated, so, and I can do all kinds of slick stuff. Amanda says, yeah, Ninja, but duck shorts or videos would be cute. Yes. Little short videos. People love animal videos. And if you just film the duck doing duck things for 30 seconds or a minute and put out a short every day, your channel will skyrocket in numbers. You'll get a lot of subscribers that way. I recommend wholeheartedly that you do that. Maybe put a little music to it. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with shorts now. Check that out. Aaron says, it's a plus if she gets you really cool guitars. Hey, did you see my guitar, the new one? Mine just bought me a nice guitar. It was a gift. It's a surprise. I didn't know it was coming. And, she worked hard and she paid it off and presented me with it the other day, and it's lovely. Matter of fact, I'll play you a little bit with it. How about that? Can you hear me now? I wish my nose would stop itching. I look like a cokehead over here. Coca-Cola. Can't remember the damn song. Oh well. Lately I've been drinking too much whiskey. I've been getting drunk now every day. I can't sober up and face the heartache, knowing that I drank my wife away. Barmaid, pour me another shot of whiskey. I'll be here till I drink up all my pain. Between Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and George Dickel, I think I just drank my wife away. How about that? That's a great guitar. Thank you very much. I love it. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. And Aaron says, what is Smurfy? You're Smurfy. You're a Smurfy Smurf, Aaron. And Amanda says, LOL, Jake is Aaron. Jake is Smurfy. Smurfy. There are 100 Smurfs. There are one Smurfette. And there's a baby Smurf. You do the math. Aaron says, Ninja, I want to see pictures of your knives, man. Right on. Show us some of your knives. On the road again. Going places that I've never been. I forgot the... How's it go? Never been. It's my way. On the road again. Going places that I've never been. The life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. We're the best of friends. Zooming things is looking better my way. And that's my way. On the road again. This song goes on forever, doesn't it? Lately I've been spending lots of time with my kids, telling them stories about the things that we did when we were a family. such a long time ago. I've answered the questions till I'm blue in the face. So many things I wish time could erase, but I just tell them the truth on the living room floor. Single father, part-time mother. When I'm not one, I am the other. You used to be my full-time lover. I'm a single father, a part-time mother. Lately I've been spending lots of time with my boy. There's no doubt about it, he's my pride and joy. But someday he'll grow up, and I won't have him no more. So many things I wish time could erase, but I just take him to McDonald's or to another place, and we have a picnic on the living room floor. Single father, part-time mother. When I'm not one, I am the other. You used to be my full-time lover, but now I'm a single father and a part-time mother. I love it. That is right up my alley. My favorite type of guitar, I think. It's a wonderful gift. Anybody that has a man that is a guitar player, Takamine G Series. It's affordable, and it'll make his day. Monkey Juice says, I need something to communicate about. If it isn't there, it isn't there. True. If you don't have anything to communicate about, you are in bad shape. That is true. If you're referring to a relationship, yes. And apparently tonight's episode is all about relationships. Amanda says hi, by the way, Monkey. So, apparently a bunch of dudes think I don't understand women, according to the poll. I wish that the poll would tell me who voted, but it don't. Monkey Juice says, right, Amanda. And Aaron says, Amanda, he doesn't look blue. You're not looking in the right place. No, I'm just kidding. Never blue. If you see my blue, angel. Remember that song? That's a good one. Amanda says, if you can't communicate, then you don't have a relationship, Monkey. True. Exactly, says Monkey. And Aaron says, or you mute, LOL. Could be mute. But you can still communicate. You just can't use words. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. And Linda says, negotiations work, but you really need to be honest about what you do need, because down the road, you can't just change things up. This is true, and it's also a very important point to addendum, a very important addendum to my initial thought on that subject and about negotiating your position at the beginning of the relationship. You really, really need to take stock and be honest, because if you're not, it doesn't matter if you communicate. If you say the wrong things when communicating, it's going to fall apart. You can't lie your way into a better position. Key number one, you have to be honest with yourself, not just with the other person. If you don't know you, how are you going to sell yourself to somebody else, right? If you don't understand who you are, you can't explain yourself to someone else. So there is a certain period of growth that has to happen in a person's life, and I would recommend you start as early as possible. 14, 15 years old, you really need to discover who you are and what you are in this world. Most people, for whatever reason, can't answer that question outright. What are you? I'm lucky. I know what I am. I always have known. I've never had any question about what I'm here for or what my job is in this world, why I exist. I am me. I do what I do, and there's no sense in trying to be something other than that because it ain't going to work. But most people, it takes a lifetime to discover this. I would recommend you start as early as possible, and that also is a big problem why many relationships don't work is because they don't even know who they are, let alone who someone else is, right? So, and most people can't admit that, but that's just the way it is, and I suppose everybody's like that, and I suppose that's always going to be a problem. But if you can solve that problem by growing up and being honest with yourself, know what your strengths are, but certainly know what your weaknesses are and be willing to work on them. If you're not aware of it, you can't fix it. And if you're not aware of it, it's because you're not paying attention. You got to be able to assess yourself. You got to be able to look inward and do a check. This is what I want to be, and this is where I'm at. How do I get from here to here? Then you can be in a relationship with somebody else. But you're absolutely right. You have to be honest. You have to be sincere. You have to be honest, and you cannot ask for too many things. Be reasonable. What is a thing that everybody wants? Peace, good communication, affection, public display of affection, a good hot meal, the basic stuff. These are things that it's okay to ask for. A harem, it's off the table, boys. Just get that out of your mind. You can't have that. You don't want a woman that's going to wait on your hand and foot or cower to your every whim. You want a woman that has a little backbone. You want a woman that is not scared to tell you when you're wrong. This is important because men, in the world of men, there's this thing called confidence, and confidence is king. If you don't have it, you fail, or you're even worse than failure, you're a beta. You're somebody else's subordinate. But in the world of real men that have responsibilities, you have to know what you're doing. You have to command authority, right? If you're a person that runs people, like I have a lot of people that work for me at different areas of my life, if I don't know what I'm doing, they're lost. They look to me for authority. I have to know what I'm talking about, even when I don't. Now, here's the problem with that. It's easy to transfer that work ethic into life because it's really, there's no difference. It's one and the same. You are you, and if you don't separate the two, it's the same thing. So it's very easy for a man to be overconfident, to think that he can produce something that he cannot. This is a trick that most men are going to encounter in their life, and hopefully you can navigate your way around it. Here's how you do that. You have to never offer a thing you can't do. So you have to have experience. So if someone says, "Can I trust you?" Well, that's easy enough. Just don't lie to them, right? No, trust is more than that. Not only can you not lie to them, but they have to have an opinion of you that is factually correct, which means all of the little stories that you've told and all the little things you've done in your life, they have to line up with reality. If you go telling a woman anything that she wants to hear to get in her pants, guess what's going to come up down the road? Something that you said, and now you don't remember the end of that story. Now you've been caught in a lie, and now you are dishonorable. Don't do that. Just be you. It's okay to sell yourself, but just be you. And if you can do that, you're halfway there. Now you got to find somebody who's willing to do that for you. Be honest. There's the trick. I think honesty is the key, but it's very hard to find. If you find it, a person who's genuinely honest, that you know for a fact is to the bone, everything they say is true, I would break both arms and bend over backwards to keep that person in your life. Believe that, because you won't find it again. It's very rare. Amanda says, "Right, Linda." Aaron says, "I just dance." Hang on, my chat jumped. What a place for it to jump at. I want to know the rest. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. I just dance like one of those birds. Which bird? That's very important. Some birds are silly. If you're talking like a flamenco, that's not going to work for you. Love Coach Jake, says Aaron. No, I'm just being honest, man. And bring flowers. Love Dr. Jake. Thank you. Yeah, flowers is always a good plus. This thing ain't working anymore. Something's wrong with it. I think there's a hole in that cup. Amanda says, LOL, he named it Jake. I named what Jake? Oh, the duck. He named the duck Jake. John says, thank you, everyone. Gonna say goodnight. Bless you all. Cognac worked. It does. Tequila is my favorite, but cognac, sure. Amanda says, good night, John. Rest good. Please do not do anything stupid. Go to bed, cover up to your mustache, and just let the world go by. You'll be all right tomorrow. Don't go out and get in trouble now. Linda says, good night, John. And Amanda says, Ninja, here's your channel. Aaron says, had the pup cup of ice cream? The pup cups of ice cream. I have not got ice cream from my dog. No. Do they have that? Is that a thing? She'd probably like it. She likes cookies. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron, instead of Dr. Phil, it's Dr. Jake. Well, I mean, you can call me that if you want to. I do have a PhD, but whatever. Aaron says, like Hitch, except not rich. Amanda says, no, not yet, Aaron. She loves peanut butter cookies and banana pudding. That dog will eat anything that won't eat her first, and she'll consider that. Amy says, he can name the duck. What the duck? I like it. Aaron says, so cool. Bill Bennett says, it's okay to cry. You're still a man. Listen to me very carefully. It is not okay to cry. Deaths withstanding, the birth of a child, things like that, you can shed a tear. You cannot cry in front of your woman. I don't care how much she swears to you she wants you to be in touch with your feminine side. I don't care how many times you feel so comfortable she's like your mother or your best friend or your sister. We can just share these emotions. Don't do it. The minute you start crying, the respectometer is going to fall to the floor. I don't care what they say. They will deny it vehemently, but I promise you, you cannot show weakness around your mate. Her only safety in this world is knowing that you'll protect her if the need arises. She's got a gun, she can handle it, but she needs you to be strong. You cannot let her know that you can break for any reason. Don't do that. I promise. I'm not wrong. Aaron says, if I had a duck, I would name it Swing because it knows how to duck. I'm with you. And John says, 1 cognac, 2 cognacs, 3 cognacs. I hear you, buddy. God bless you. We'll see you Saturday. Tomorrow. Amanda says, rolling on the floor, Aaron. Why are you rolling on the floor? Linda says, LOL, Aaron and Amy. What the duck? Swing and what the duck? Come here, Jake. Hey, Ninja. VJ. The duck. Amanda says, you're welcome very much. I love you too. Oh, if you're talking to me. If not, who are you talking to? I'm just kidding. Amy says, I'm on the phone again. He should be working, but he's texting his friends on the phone again. On the phone again. He should be working, but he's texting friends. I could do something with that. Give me a minute. I'll think about it. I like how your head works, though, Amy. I like doing that, too. You know that song, Riders on the Storm by The Doors? I did a version of that called I Need an iPhone, and it was pretty funny, but I only played it once. And it might be on a video here somewhere. I can't remember. But I got it around here somewhere. I might start a blog because I write a lot of stuff that really has no place because I'm not a writer. I write, but I don't have a forum. Like I'm not an author. I don't have books or blogs or anything like that. I don't write for papers or anything, but I do a lot of like articles and op-eds and stuff just to exercise that muscle. I really like to have an outlet for it. I might figure out some kind of way to put an addendum to my website or something where you can go read my writings. I might just compile it all into a book and call it Crazy and be done with it. Aaron says, Amy's always funny. She is. She's got a great sense of humor. And she's smart. And that is a deadly combination. Outlaw Women. Well, or Blue Angel, or Does the Blue Moon Shine on You? Great songs. I'll do one of them. Pick one. I don't have the voice to do all three, but pick one and I'll do it. When she requests songs, I got to play them because she bought the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Okay. This is a song by request from the man in charge. If I can remember it, hang on. She works at the bank and she works at the store. She don't go for that old stuff anymore. She might be a little rich girl, or she might be poor. She might be married woman, but needs a little more. You know who I'm talking about. She's a outlaw woman, first of her kind. Outlaw woman, getting down like it's 99. Yeah. Outlaw woman, she don't need a gun. Outlaw woman, she's just out for fun. In many ways, she's a lot like me. She don't give a damn about society. She likes to get high and listen to the band. She likes to make love to her kind of man. Yeah, she's a outlaw woman, first of her kind. Outlaw woman, getting down like it's 99. Outlaw woman, she don't need a gun. Girls just out for fun. Some call her a lady, and some call her other names. But you won't call her that in front of me and my gang. Ow. There you go. By request. That's a good song. Old Hank Jr. Hank Jr. wrote some killer songs. All right. That's about all I can take for one night. Let's see what we got going on here. Aaron says, a gifted entertainer is Jake. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm something. Amy Elizabeth says, lie yourself into a better position, a.k.a. rolling over. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Aaron says, just ask the bear that's become a rug. Lying don't work, right? The bear laying on the ground don't work. Absolutely true. You got to be honest. If you're not honest, what are you doing, man? You're just floating around lying to people. Take stock of yourself. Amanda says, true, Aaron. And Amy says, sometimes marriage is 50-50, but usually it's 80-20, and sometimes you're the 80, and other times you're the 20. Very, very true. And it's about compromise and picking your battles. It's giving a piece of yourself, too. Right. Well, nobody ever said it was easy. I liken it to a wine glass. A wine glass is a very fine, fragile crystal goblet. It's very pretty. It's very shiny, but it's very thin. And just about anything can break a wine glass. Now, if you hold your hand like that and place the wine glass here, it'll fall to the floor and crash. But if your partner puts her hand on the other side, you can hold that wine glass up in the air. And as long as you both have your hands on that wine glass, it will stay intact and full of wine. But if anybody, even for a second, drops their guard or puts their hand away, that wine glass is going to hit the floor and shatter. That wine glass is love, and what's in it is your heart. It takes both of you to hold it there. And it's a chore. It is a job to be in a relationship. And every day you have to make the choice to be faithful, to be honest, to be noble, to be giving, to be caring. It is a choice, and you make it every day, and it never stops being a choice. It's never an automatic thing. Every single day, if you've been together for 50 years, every day you have to wake up and choose to love that person. And the moment you stop making that choice, it shatters, it falls to the ground. And at that point, you're just prolonging the inevitable. And that is the biggest problem with relationships today, is not knowing when it's over. It is over the moment trust is broken. The moment you can no longer look at that person and believe what you're seeing is true, it's over. You may stay there for another 10 years, but it was over from that moment, and you can't fix it. When trust is broken, you cannot regain it. It takes forever to build new trust, but the old trust will never be there again. So, yeah, sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 90-10, and you might be on either side of that equation. True. Very wise. Amy says, giving a piece of yourself to make the other person happy, because when they're happy, you're happy. Yeah. That old expression, it depends. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Because you can't be both all the time. That goes with picking your battles. You want to be right? You can be right, but you're going to sleep on the couch. You know, women don't like to be corrected, and men don't either. So sometimes it ain't worth it. Amanda says, yes, Amy, it's a two-way street, push and pull, give and take. Aaron says, peacock. Flounder, your turn. Amy says, it's more like a one-way street that you journey down together, helping each other avoid the obstacles along the way. Very true. And Amanda says, LOL, Aaron, peacock, peacock, peacock. Linda says, true, Amy. Bill says, live chat, all messages. Your opinions are genuine and pure. I know in my heart. Thank you, sir. I'm trying not to give my opinion on too many things, but I appreciate the compliment. Amy says, Howard the Duck was a freaky movie. Oh, I love that movie. Everybody hates it in the movie world. They all think it's a piece of junk. I think it's brilliant. I enjoy that movie. Every time I watch it, I love it. And it never gets old. So, I don't know what they're smoking, but Howard the Duck was a great movie. No, it's not Marvel's The Avengers, but it is a Marvel movie. It is owned and operated by Marvel. George Lucas is the guy that directed it, so it's got Star Wars alum and Marvel alum. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Disney owns that movie now, so it's all the way around got pedigree. I don't know why people dislike that movie. It's not the best thing in the world, but it wasn't intended to be. It's supposed to be campy and cheesy and have duck titties for some reason. Lots of them. If you've never seen Howard the Duck, go watch it now. You won't regret it. And Amanda says, yes, Amy. And Aaron says, all the fast food places will give you one called the Pup Cup. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'll have to check into that, Aaron. I'm sure that puppy will love ice cream. I'll tell her that you gave it to her. So when she's pooping all over the place, it's your fault. Bill Bennett says programming, and she don't realize it yet. I think what you're referring to is what I was talking about, social pressure. I think that's what you're referring to. Bill says, Jake, you are a genius. I'm a nice guy. Must have just got lucky. You are very intelligent in life lessons, and I agree about all you say. Well, thank you, Bill. I don't know about all that, but I am a person who has been here for a very long time, and I have made lots and lots and lots of mistakes, and I've gone down the wrong road many, many times, and if for some reason my agony helps someone avoid that, then by all means take a lesson from my life. That's why I'm talking. It's not because I'm especially intelligent. It's because I've screwed up more than most people have, and I know the results on both sides. So if that makes anybody's life better, then I feel honored to have lived the life that I've lived. But thank you so much for the vote of confidence, and thank you for believing in me, and I'll do my utmost to live up to that. Aaron says, I'm going to try to get my new girlfriend to come to Bible study soon. Yes, please do. I think that would be beneficial for you both. And always, if you build your relationship starting with God first, you cannot go wrong with that equation. So I promise you, being in Bible study is probably the most wholesome thing that you can do with your girlfriend. I support that wholeheartedly. And we'll be nice to her, too. We'll talk you up real good. I'm a good wingman, by the way. Amanda says, LOL, Amy. Jake changed the words to the Boston song Amanda and had me cracking up. Too funny. Yeah, this morning I woke up thinking about that song, and I was saying stuff like, it was no surprise she took a group of guys, Amanda. You know, stuff like that. Just being silly. She was laughing her tail off this morning. That was like 5 or 6 o'clock this morning, me singing that stuff to her. Aaron says, The Chronicles of Jake. Hey, that's a good idea. School of Jake. No. I don't think that would sell very good, Aaron. Amy says, and she's single. Who's single? And by the way, Bill, if you have a woman that meets the criteria of the stuff we were talking about today, you absolutely got lucky. You should thank God every day for that, and her, and show it by being honorable and the man that she deserves, which I know you are. Who's single, Amy? I must have missed something. Amanda says, awesome, Aaron. And Amanda says, the whoa man. The whoa man. And Amanda says, thank you, Jake. My pleasure. Bill says, this is live. There is top and all options. You should be on live. Are you saying you're having trouble with your chat, Bill? Or are you still having trouble with it? Amanda says, yeah, Bill, you want all messages option. I guess if you're on a phone, you need all, not live. Aaron says, an hourglass needs both halves to pass time. Very smart. I like that. An hourglass needs both halves to pass time. True. Amanda says, it says all messages on the phone and live chat on a computer. Right. I've only ever done it from the computer, so I don't have any idea about the phone thing. Amanda says, good one, Aaron. Linda says, true. Trust is a fragile thing. Yeah, like a crystal wine glass. Very fragile. And the slightest thing will shatter it. But if you're both holding it, it's safe. As long as you both put forth effort to hold it up. And that's why I use that analogy, because it is effort. Everybody says that love is supposed to be easy. It's not. It's a job every day. Faithfulness is not a requirement of the human body. In other words, every single time you don't sleep around, it's because you chose not to. It's naive to think that people aren't attracted to other people. If I see a hot girl, I'm attracted to her, but it's my choice to be faithful. I choose that, and which that should be more valuable anyway, because it's not programming. I want to be faithful, right? I could sleep with that girl if I want to, but that wouldn't make me a very trustworthy man. And it also, I know where my bread is buttered at. That's a relationship that'll last one night. This is a relationship that's lasted a lifetime. It's not worth it, right? You have to think about that sort of thing. If you're out there and you're the kind of guy that can pull women's attention quickly, you need to think about that, because that one night stand, while it might be exciting and she might be a total smoke show, does she have what this person has? Has she put in that time, that effort? Has she laid the groundwork? Does she know all the secret things about you? Does she know that special thing that you like? You know what I'm talking about? She doesn't know any of that. This is just a person. It's an obstacle. This is a life. This is a living environment that you have built over a period of time. That ain't worth it. That'll be over as soon as it's done. Flash in the pan. This took a lifetime to build, and it'll take almost that long to recover if you lose it. So it's a choice every day to be faithful, to be loyal. Loyalty is a choice. It is not a requirement. So you got to hold that wine glass, because it will shatter. If anything hits it, you got to protect it, shield it, keep it up, keep the effort flowing. That's the only way to make a relationship last. And pretending like the obstacles aren't there ain't going to help. I know no woman wants to think that she's in a lineup. I get that. Every woman wants her man to think she's the only woman alive and she's the hottest girl that ever walked the streets. That's not reality, but I understand the sentiment. Here's the thing, though. If there was no other option, that wouldn't make being with you special. What makes being with you special is there are plenty of options, and hands down, every time, you're the choice. That's what makes your relationship special. But it's on the man to keep making that choice. Or vice versa. I don't know why it sounds like I'm picking on women, but I'm not. I guess that's just because I'm a man. I'm thinking from a man's perspective, but it goes both ways. And Amanda says, very fragile. Trust is very fragile. Aaron says, flounders need love too, but they're ugly. Not two flounders. I'm sure both eyes on the same side of your head is very attractive to a certain fish. Ugh. Amy says, darn ads. I'm glad I could help Jake out a little by a little. I'm glad I could help Jake out a little by watching them. Well, thank you for watching them. It does help. To the tune of about $15 a month is what I get paid for the ads thus far. But that's 2 packs of cigarettes and $5 in gas. So You make money where you can, and I'm trying. Most importantly, though, I'm trying to be available if anybody needs anything, and if anything I know would help anybody, then I want to give it away for free. The other stuff is just, you'll get that whether you help me or not. Even if you don't watch the ads, you'll get it. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. LOL, Aaron. Thanks, Amy. Aaron, thanks, Amy. What are you saying? Comma. I have no idea. Amy says, maybe because I don't like the female co-star, Leah Thomas. Co-star. Maybe because I don't like the female co-star, Leah Thomas in Howard the Duck. Yeah, I can see why you don't like her. I liked her back in the day, but now that I'm grown and I know her as an adult human person, I don't like her much either. But, she fits that role pretty good, though. I mean, it's a little weird that she immediately wants to sleep with a duck, but if you just put that aside and just fall into the story as it's presented, it's a pretty good story. Aaron says, for what? For what? What are you talking about? Did I miss one again? Flounders need love. They too ugly. Darn ads. Glad I could help. Aaron thanks Amy. Amy don't like Howard the Duck. Aaron says, for what? I don't know what you're talking about, Aaron. Amy says, I'm single. Okay. Well, that's a shame. That's a crime. Amy, why are you single? You're a hardworking, strong, smart, funny lady. Men should be lining up around the block to take your arm. Why are they not? Are you a masochist? Do you have a dungeon in your room? I'm just messing with you. Linda says, Amy is funny, intelligent, and she is single. See? I said that. Why? Somebody will love you, I promise. Amy says, it hurts very deeply when you lose your soulmate. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But losing your soulmate does not mean you lose your life. You still have to live. So please let someone close to you. It don't have to be a replacement for your soulmate, because that can't be in the first place. But, just a friend, somebody you can be emotionally intimate with. Don't block that side out of your life just because you've lost a loved one, because I assure you, your loved one would not want that for you. And also, you need that to be a thriving person. You need that outlet. You need that interconnected emotional security. So please do allow somebody close to you. Don't block off the world because it's painful. I know it's painful, but you're strong. You can handle it. And Aaron says, I'm sorry, Amy. And I am too, but we love you, and you've always got friends for us, so reach out if you need. Amanda says, hugs, Amy. Amy says, flounders are handsome compared to cuttlefish. Like I said, flounders are gorgeous to flounders. Maybe that's a 10 in flounder world. You don't know. Aaron says, I watched one just now, but it makes that chat jump because it doesn't stop. Yeah, I know. I don't like it either. I wish I could not have ads at all. And if I can get my membership up, I might could do that, But I got to get some kind of flow going so that I can keep the lights on around here. I just lost a light, so I got to replace that. So you know how it is. That's why the ads are there, and I apologize. I don't like it, but got to do something. Amanda says, I like clownfish. They are cute. There's something about clownfish. I think it's where they live at. There's something about them that's bad. I just can't remember what it is. I think there's a little place, there's a little, I don't know what you call that. It's not coral. Whatever they live in, I think that's like poisonous. If you touch it, it'll kill you or something. Something about clownfish. The Nemo fish, the red or orange and white ones. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Cuttlefish look like sacks of smashed poop. Do they? I thought they looked like cuttlefish, like an octopus stuck on the end of a fish. Amy says, exactly, Aaron. Amanda says, 'cause she's a freak and likes bestiality, LOL, shaking my head. What the hell are we talking about? I'm lost. I have no idea what the conversation is about. Bestiality? Who? Amy says, haha. Aaron says, release the beast. Release the Kraken. Amy says, DWL, driving while listening. See y'all Saturday. Maybe, if my internet connects. Well, I hope it does, Amy. God bless you, and we'll see you Saturday. Don't you want somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. Amanda says, we might need to see about getting you a sponsor, Jake. I'm not an alcoholic. What are you talking about? Are you talking about this episode is brought to you by Pfizer? Yeah, maybe. I have the brand connect, just nobody's offered me a thing yet, so we'll see. I don't know how that works. I guess they come to you. I probably need 10,000 subs before anybody will even pay attention to me, though. I am 9,000 short. What we need to do is do a membership drive and pump up subscribers and get a bunch of subscribers. I need a duck. I need a bunch of duck videos so I can get some subscribers. Amanda says, good night, Amy. Be safe, heart exclamation point. And Linda says, drive safe, Amy, heart exclamation point. Aaron says, anime stings. Does it? Amanda says, Howard the Duck. Aaron says, 10,000 subs. Jake will be like Subway. I need that. If anybody has any idea on how to get more subscribers, I'm all ears. All you computer savvy people out there, anybody want to help me grow the channel, you're more than welcome to jump in at any time because I'm fighting for the 1.5 thousand subscribers that I have. Aaron says, nin, na, me, the clownfish. Nim. I think that's what you're saying. There's something about Nim's story, too, that has something to do with that, what I'm thinking about, but I don't know what I'm thinking about. I'm losing my brain. An enemy. Wow, that's a sea anemone. I thought it was a condom.
You're thinking of Nemo, the movie.
Nemo, right. But anemone. That's a sea anemone. It's like a snail wearing a sweater. Are we talking about phalluses? All right. I'm going mental. It's time to go to bed. Oh, the thing they live in is an anemone. I got you. Thank you. It took me a minute. I thought an anemone was a little spiky thing. Like a amoeba, but bigger. Like a star fruit. You know the star fruit with the spikes that the Mexicans sell? It looks like that. I thought that's what a sea anemone was. Jake's losing his mind, says Amanda. Yes, I am. Well, you learn something new every day. All my life, I've been thinking that little spiky thing was an anemone, but turns out it's the thing that clownfish live in. Aaron says, sea urchin is that. Oh, so I got an anemone and an urchin wrong. I got them twisted. Okay. Everybody else is like, what in the hell are they talking about? Is he just saying things? Probably. All right, everybody. I'm going to bed now. It's 11 o'clock. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow night for some politics right here on Untethered Live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't be late. And if you're at all possible, bring a date. Have a great night. I love each and every one of you. I enjoyed immensely the conversation tonight, and it's going to get wild and crazy tomorrow, so you don't want to miss it. Have a great night. God bless you all. Mwah. Ladies, thank you. And thank you for all who participated in the non-existent poll. See you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.